Thanks for staying with us. The Unemployment Insurance Fund has since March 2020 to date paid out 64 billion rand to workers as part of its COVID-19 temporary employer-employee relief scheme. However, audits discovered instances of fraud in some of the payments. Now, the UIF says it will be taking disciplinary action against some of the officials who are implicated in fraud cases, as well as those who are alleged to be soliciting bribes from clients to expedite claims at labour centres. Let's get more on this now. We're joined by Unemployment Insurance Fund Commissioner Teboho Maruping. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Seeing around 2.1 billion rand to over 450,000 employees, workers, in fact, in the Northwest Province. Briefly take us through some of the sectors who got the lion's share of this.
Thanks, Bongiwe, for this opportunity. Yes, we have a couple of sectors that benefited in the Northwest. I think in particular in this space, as you know, it was the mining, the personal services. I think here we are talking about your hotels, accommodations, bread and breakfast, travel agencies, and also in particular the agricultural services, and some of the educational institutions and charities were the ones who got the majority of this 2.1 billion rands paid in the Northwest area.
And of course, while that is encouraging to hear, just the support that you've given to the workers, there's now applications that you've also found for ghost employees, those with inflated salaries, applications for terminated employees, and for companies that were essential services and would not have then needed to be at home during the lockdown. They were supposed to be working. How did these happen?
Yeah, it is quite strange that some people took advantage of the COVID space. But you see, the key thing, Bonga, that you must remember, during COVID, when we started with COVID as UIF and the department, the controls were very tight. They were so tight that we were only paying companies that were registered with UIF as at 30 March 2020. Any company that was not registered for UIF by that period, it was not considered. Any employees that were not declared or paid UIF by that period of the 30th of March 2020, we didn't cover those. But as we matured during COVID and as we learned lessons, we also realized that it was not the fault of the employees not to be declared and not to be registered. It was the fault of the employers. And we took a decision as a department that we are not going to compromise employees who could have been covered for UIF, but they were not covered because the employers did not do their part. And then we opened that door, that as an employer, you can apply for all the employees, including the ones that you may not have declared or contributed for. And once the process is finalized, we will come to the employers and do the audit process. Now, there were some of the employers who sneaked in employees that didn't work for them, who sneaked in employees that they had fired, employees that were on maternity leave, and employees that never even worked for them. The case in point is the ones that we've arrested now in the Northwest. They added additional 50 employees, some of them added about 100, and when we processed, we paid. Because remember, as I said earlier, we had relaxed the rules to accommodate employees that were not covered, because we understood that it's a difficult time in the country, and we needed to intervene.
So they're doing this, though, some of them, I would assume, with the assistance of some of the employees that would be working for the UIF. Have those employees been arrested? Because this is a crime.
Unfortunately, they have. They were working in cahoots, some of them with our employees, which I think 2 so far we managed to discipline and dismiss. We still have 5 additional ones that are going through the disciplinary process. There were about 4 more in the Northwest environment that we arrested about 3 weeks ago. Some of the employees, some of them are out on bail, but we are following the legal process with the assistance of the NPA, the Hawks, and the SIU to do the investigation. But we're also treating it with care, because we also want to make sure that we take the right people to court, we take the right people to prison, and we also recover our monies when it's possible.
There's a tweet that, I received from a viewer, especially when they saw that we were going to be in conversation with you, and requested that we put this question to you, and that is Megaman SA saying, can you please ask the UIF Commissioner, when will UIF TERS outstanding applications be processed? The reason for my question is a Facebook page, TERS Info and Support page, I saw yesterday of people who have been waiting 3 years for their payments.
Yeah. I think it's understandable that people will wait for that long period. And once again, what we are trying to do is to cross all the T's, dot all the I's. Now, when you communicate with the companies, we tell them that we've received your application. You've submitted it either in the wrong file, you are missing certain information, we are missing salary information, because it's your salaries that you use to do the calculation. Is your starting date of your employment, is your full employment cycle that will require in the application.
But does it take 3 years to do that?
No, it doesn't take 3 years for us to process.
He's saying that some of the people have been waiting for 3 years, though.
We are waiting for employers. We've written to all employers that are remaining in the pool. And we've told these employers that this is the information missing from you. Please submit this information. And these employers, they've been resisting for so long, to an extent that now we are engaging organized labor. As we are traversing the provinces, we are also engaging organized labor to say, but guys, please talk to the employers, because we have applications sitting that we have not processed because the employers are not responding.
It sounds to me like pardon me, Dr. Maruping, for coming in there. It sounds to me like the employers potentially may have something to hide and not have documents to back up their claims. Am I correct?
It's equally possible. It's equally possible. Because the other thing is, we want the employer to own the data. They must be the one who are saying, Bongeka works for us, and we are confirming. And without that confirmation, if we have to follow up next time to check if it's true there was a relationship of employer-employee relationship, the employer must own that data. And that's where we are struggling with this application that we've received so far.
All right, let's see then how do you continue with your work in this regard, because it is important for companies to also verify a lot of the details and, as you say, weed out within the UIF some of those who would be found wanting when it comes to fraud and corruption and some of the other acts. But let me thank you for giving us a comprehensive update of how things are unfolding there. That was UIF Commissioner Teboho Maruping.